Glory in the Bible is a word called kabod, which means something that's heavy with meaning, heavy with import. So it fits in really well to our series about joy. Joy being the serious business of heaven. Joy are those moments when the glory, the weightiness, the importance, the transcendence, all those huge adjectives that we have about God break through into our world. So, when we recognize God's glory, what we need to remember also is that God's glory is a gift given to each and every one of us. A gift given in our baptism. We are weighed down with the very glory of God. Each of us. Now, sometimes I feel pretty sure about myself that I'm weighed down with God's glory, but I'm not so certain about the rest of you. Sometimes I look at people and I say, they certainly are weighed down with God's glory, but I have totally missed the mark, right? I am nowhere near being weighed down with God's glory. But when we feel that way, it's because we are looking at the outside, at the things that people have done or the things that we have done, as if those are the things that convince God somehow, against his better judgment, to give us his glory. When we know it's a gift. It's a gift that you are filled with God's glory. We are weighted down, and we bring pleasure to our Creator just by being God's creation. Just by being God's children. God delights in us. Now, our thought then immediately becomes, what do I have to do to be this glorious person? What do I have to do? And what happens is that we start to make rules for ourselves, or we look around us and see others that are doing things better than we do. So when I first came here, I looked around at all the families, and y'all have some of these wonderful families, and moms who seem to have known. They got a manual that I never got when I became a mom. They're thinking ahead about which classes their kids needs to go to, or helping them become scout masters or whatever, things that I never was able to do, right? I felt like I was barely getting them fed and out the door in the morning, and stumbling along as best I could. So what we can do is think that we have to, because of this glory, or that the whole goal of this glory is to make us perfect people. People that are worthy of praise in this world, according to our ideas. People that others look up to and give glory to here on earth. That's not what we're talking about. Because in order to have that kind of glory, you have significance through success. Significance through the things that you have done. And there are things that can happen. We can either then start to idolize these other people, as though they have it all together and we've got nothing. And what that leads to is a sense of shame. We can start to dismiss them. We can just say, I am not that person. I don't want to be that person. I don't even like that person, right? Because they make us feel bad about ourselves, and that can lead to anger. Or we can try to be them. We can keep trying. And And that can lead also to hostility. So, what do we do? In order to see the glory, so we said in the beginning that we are recognizers of God's glory and recipients of that glory. And now we are recognizers of that glory in others. Not because of what they have done, but because they are children of God. The way that we love people that make us feel shame, the way that we love people who think totally different than we do, that we do not even understand the way that their minds work, is by recognizing God's glory in them. God delights in them. C.S. Lewis says, you know, all that we have on this earth is going to pass away. Institutions, this church will be gone. Our political parties will be gone. Our homes, our families, the institutions of this earth will be gone. But the people you see around you every day are immortal souls. Each of us carry the weight of the glory of God, and we treat each other accordingly. We treat each other as carriers of God's very own glory, that God delights in each of us. And then we love not because somebody's done something to please us, because they make us feel good about ourselves, but we love vulnerably, recognizing the other as also a carrier of God's glory. Joy is the serious business of heaven. Means that our identity is so wrapped up. We are just inundated with God's glory. We've got nothing to prove. The person next to us has nothing to prove. But we live out of that gift given us in baptism. Not earned by comparison, not by some ability to glow, I don't know, something that we don't control, but a gift that we see in God, we receive, and we recognize in others.